Hi, I'm Gary Golding, and you're watching The Golding State. And today, we're going to be collecting pine pollen and discussing all the health benefits that pine pollen has. You see, pine pollen is very abundant out there in nature. Look at this. Pine pollen is said to be an anti-arthritic, an anti-inflammatory, and an anti-tumor. Not to mention the fact that it has vitamins A, B-carotene, B1, B2, B3, B6, folic acid, vitamins D, vitamins E, and a whole list of minerals. It also has 20 amino acids in it, over 20 amino acids, with all 8 essential amino acids, which guess what? Makes pine pollen a complete protein. Now, pine pollen is also said to be very high in potassium, which is good for stuff like loading up on potassium, say for like the example that I could use is the disaster we had in Japan where they claimed there was radiation plumes floating around in the air that could maybe make it over here. Potassium is a good thing to put in your system. Not to mention, the pine pollen is said to also help keep the prostate from enlarging. And it is also an androgen. And what an androgen is something that naturally raises the testosterone level. And that is few and far between and hard to find out there in nature. Something that naturally raises the testosterone level. So it's good for someone that might want to maybe raise their testosterone level due to problems with like intimacy or something like that. But you got to be careful because you don't want to get too randy. Okay, just kidding. You could actually take as much of this as you want. Now, how I like to take my pine pollen is I like to mix it in with my pancakes, maybe use it as a flour substitute, a flour additive, mix it in with your smoothies, sprinkle it on your food. But what I like to do is I like to actually take the pine pollen. I don't know if you can see or not how much pine pollen I've collected, but I've got a whole bunch that I collected within a few minutes. And I like to add about a teaspoon of this to my water in the morning. There you go. Add some of this to your water. Shake it up. And drink. Oh my God, ooh, I'm feeling kind of frisky already. Okay, just kidding. Enough of that joking around. So anyways, this is pine pollen. I got a huge dose of it right there, which you make a big pile of it and just like say hello to my healthy friend. I'm Healthy Montana. How you doing, huh? Okay. Anyways, what you do is you take your pine pollen, you collect it, and you filter out. You can take like a flour sifter or something, and you filter out all the big chunks that you get, such as this. There's big chunks in there. These things that come off of the actual pollen pods. And you filter those out, collect yourself some pine pollen, and you could have a very healthy additive to your food. Now, you've been watching The Golding State, and today we've been collecting pine pollen. So, why don't you get out there in nature? You got a reason to get out there, climb up in the trees, get something that's good for your health, get your vitamin D from the sunlight, get your vitamin D from pine pollen, and amongst many other benefits, and get out there and enjoy nature. Please remember to reuse, recycle, ride your bicycle, and refuse to abuse this beautiful planet we live on.